Good morning, friends. I am Teddy Hicks, and I'm reading you an affirmation from my book, My Life Gets Better Every Day. Today is September 23rd, and today's affirmation is, I have control over the way I feel. Your feelings are perfectly valid and understandable, and probably justified. It's good and healthy and advisable to acknowledge the way you feel, and let yourself really feel it. Then, when you're ready, you can consciously create new and perhaps more productive feelings by journaling, visualizing, tapping, and saying affirmations. Or maybe reading a book or taking a long walk or talking things through with a friend. When you're ready, love, Teddy. I think this one is really important because I think to a certain extent we all do have control over the way we feel a lot of the time. But I know that people who have trauma or who have other issues going on, it's very hard to just say, oh, I can just change my feelings right now, right? Like you get your nervous system is really in overload. It gets hijacked. You can't just turn that off. I've experienced it myself numerous times. I know that that's a thing. But a lot of the time you can control the way you feel. A lot of the time you can decide that you're going to do whatever you're going to do to feel better in that moment. And that might not be the right move. In fact, yesterday, my daughter and I were just having a conversation about this. And she said a friend of hers was going through something tough. And she said to her friend, and I thought this was so genius, do you need to go out or do you need to rot? Which means lie in bed and do nothing. And I thought, well, that's just such a loving way to really validate the person's feelings, ask what they need in that moment. And it's not always going to be the same answer, right? Sometimes you think, okay, I got to get out, let me go distract myself. Let me go do something fun. Let me, get out of my head with this. But sometimes you need to just be in it for a while, and that's perfectly fine too. The important point is to really validate your feelings for yourself. Don't gaslight yourself into thinking that you shouldn't be feeling the way that you feel. And I have to remind people of this all the time. What you're feeling may be really uncomfortable, and that is totally valid, right? Like you don't like this and you don't want to feel this way, but it does not help you to say, I shouldn't feel this way and I'm going to try to stop feeling this way, when you really need to be in it in that moment and understand how you feel and why you're feeling that way. Do you know what I mean? So it's important not to just go, okay, I'm experiencing feelings, I'm experiencing discomfort. Let me jump around and distract myself so that I don't have to feel this anymore. That's different than saying, okay, I have been in this long enough. I understand what's going on with myself. And now it's time for me to move on and I'm going to go do something to make myself feel better. So you have to figure out what you need in each moment. But I think no matter what is going on with you, it's really important to validate the way you feel. Everything you feel is valid. Your feelings are always valid. And the work is in figuring out why you feel that way and how you can learn from it, right? Like something is coming up for me right now. I'm very uncomfortable. I don't like the way I'm responding to this. And I need to figure out what's going on so that I can do this work. Because if you just keep ignoring it and you just keep trying to distract yourself, you're just going to keep having that stuff until you deal with it. It's just going to keep coming up and make it more amplified, it make it worse, before you learn how to really address it. So remember that what you need in each moment is not always the same. It's always important to validate the way you feel and really get into what's going on with you and try to figure it out so that you can move through it and you don't have to keep doing it over and over again. And when you're ready, you do have some control over the way you feel. When it's time and you've done your work, you can control the way you feel. You can get up, you can go for a walk, you can talk to a friend, you can read, journal, do the work to get through that moment so that you can move on and do other things. I hope that's helpful for you today, and I will be back tomorrow with the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.